Good morning. Here we go, my friends. Welcome to Morning Poems and Prayers for Wednesday, the 6th of May. Yes, looking good here. Thank you, God. The 6th of May. Thank you. All right. Let me just get my little self together here. Great to be with you. Life is good, my friends. Absolutely. Lots of good stuff going on. Lots of new resources and new possibilities to share with you here. Lovely. Here we go. Bibbidi bobbidi boop. Give me one moment. Oh, there it is. Okay. So thank you. Go ahead and get centered. We'll take a few deep breaths. We'll do some ohms and ahs. We'll get it going. Yeah, there we are. All right. Thank you again for being here. Go ahead and close your eyes, turn within, take a deep breath. Stretching the spine, looking up through the third eye. Nice exhalation, let it go. Ah. Second deep breath. Ooh. Holding. And let go. Ah. Third, final deep breath. Waking up the body. Let it go. Ah. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, a few ohms to clear the field. Inhaling for the first ohm. Om for peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. I see you. I honor you. I love you. I set you free. I see you. I honor you. I love you. I set you free. I see you. I honor you. I love you. I set you free. I see me. I honor me. I love me. I set me free. I see me. I honor me. I love me. I set me free. I see me. I honor me. I love me. I set me free. Three more ohms. Oh. peace, peace, peace. Okay, let's say a few prayers here. Keep it moving. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. I am my I am presence, and I am one with my Father, Mother, God. I am also one with the I am presence of every man, woman, and child on earth, the entire company of heaven, the angelic kingdom, the elemental kingdom, and Gaia, Mother Earth. I give heartfelt and sincere thanks for the sacred gift of my life and of life itself. I ask my I am presence to consecrate every thought, word, feeling, and action which I express throughout this day, with more love and more light for myself and my world. Word, I am word. I know who I am in peace, what I am in peace, how I serve in peace. I am here, I am here, I am here. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sorrow, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are forgiven. And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. I am the open door for the violet flame. I am my I am presence, and I am one with the I am presence of all humanity. As one voice, one breath, one heartbeat, and one energy, vibration, and consciousness of pure divine love, we invoke the most intensified frequencies of the fifth dimensional, crystalline, solar, violet flame of God's infinite perfection that cosmic law will allow. Beloved Saint Germain and your legions of fifth dimensional violet flame archangels, we ask that you blaze, blaze, blaze this violet flame with the power and might of 1,000 suns in, through, and around every thought, feeling, word, action, memory, and belief that humanity has ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, both known and unknown, that is reflecting anything less than heaven on earth. Transmute this energy, cause, core, effect, record, and memory back into its original perfection, and seal it in an invincible force field of God's comprehensive divine love. We accept that this activity of light is being God victoriously accomplished, even as we call. We also accept and know that this violet flame is increasing daily and hourly, moment by moment, with every single breath we take, until the sweet earth and all her life have ascended into the fifth dimensional, crystalline, solar realms of light on the new earth. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Take a deep breath. Looking for O Cosmic Birther to finish up here. Good morning. Are we feeling it? Are you tuned in, tapped in, and turned on? Are you ready for a great day? O Cosmic Birther of all radiance and vibration, soften the ground of our being and carve out a space within us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity, so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by that which would divert us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth, power, and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. We give thanks, we let it be, and so it is. Take a deep breath. Good morning, good morning. All right, here we are, my friends. Thank you for being here. Bibbidi-bobbidi-boop. Let me take a moment here. I wake up at about 5 or 6 and start doing Patricia and Oren meditations, which I did this morning. And they're just a game changer. And especially Oren, because Patricia is for awakening humanity, and Oren is already on the other side of the veil, blasting us with light and love from just a whole deeper level. And it is a gift. So ORINDABEN.com. I'll put the link here. And Patricia, of course, has been our guide for the last decade plus. And her posts are few and far between now. We're being asked to solo at this point, to create it for ourselves. And that's where I'm at. So great to be here with you. Yeah, beautiful. Let's do the Course in Miracles. Lesson 290. My present happiness is all I see. This is from the workbook. Unless I look upon what is not there, my present happiness is all I see. Eyes that begin to open see at last, and I would have Christ's vision come to me this very day. What I perceive without God's own correction, for the sight I made is frightening and painful to behold. Yet I would not allow my mind to be deceived by the belief the dream I made is real, an instant longer. This the day I seek my present happiness, and look on nothing else except the thing I seek. With this resolve I come to you and ask your strength to hold me up today, while I but seek to do your will. You cannot fail to hear me, Father. What I ask have you already given me, and I am sure that I will see my happiness today. Take a deep breath. What I ask, you have already given me. There it is, the heart of the paradox. The Course is amazing. I listened to yesterday's, and we'll catch up with today's at some point as well, the session with Mia and everyone. May, as we know, is a massively powerful spiritual month, and we are just moving through anything and everything that would limit or hinder our creative abilities to be of service to the world. So opportunity is knocking every day. Open the door, yeah? Here is Abraham. Daily quote. See this world as a free world, and see everyone in it as trying, through their individual experiences, to find their way back to that calling, back to that source energy. And even though there are billions of them going about it in a way that is different than you would choose, there is no right or wrong way. In other words, bless them all and get on with the only thing you have any power about, which is opening or closing your vortex to your natural state. of well-being. I think we'll have that again. Yeah? See this world as a free world, and see everyone in it as trying, through their individual experiences, to find their way back to that calling, back to their source energy, back to that source energy. And even though there are billions of them going about it in a way that is different than you would choose, there's no right or wrong way. In other words, bless them all and get on with the only thing you have any power about, which is opening or closing your vortex to your natural state of well-being. That is what we're doing here. Thank you, God. And finally, Our Lady Eileen Caddy, Sermon on the Mount. A sip of coffee in preparation. Ready? Be not satisfied with yourself when your life is in turmoil, but seek for guidance from within, and be willing to accept help from without. There are many times when I have to use my channels to help to throw light on a situation, especially when there are blind spots or when you are too close to a situation to view it clearly yourself. At those times, be willing to accept help from without, though it does not mean you have to rush to someone else every time you need a problem solved. It is important for you to learn to stand on your own feet and do your own thinking and seeking within, wherever possible. You must not be spiritually lazy, relying on someone else for something you know you should be working out yourself. It takes time and patience to be still and go within and find the answer. But you cannot hope to grow spiritually unless you put it into practice. Go within or go without, my friends. Yeah? One more time. Be not satisfied with yourself when your life is in turmoil, but seek for guidance from within, and be willing to accept help from without. There are many times when I have to use my channels to help to throw light on a situation, especially when there are blind spots or when you are too close to a situation to view it clearly yourself. At those times, be willing to accept help from without, though it does not mean you have to rush to someone else every time you need a problem solved. It is important for you to learn to stand on your own feet and do your own thinking and seeking within, wherever possible. You must not be spiritually lazy, relying on someone else for something you know you should be working out yourself. It takes time and patience to be still and go within to find the answer, but you cannot hope to grow spiritually unless you learn to put it into practice. And so it is, my friends. Yes, thank you, thank you. Beautiful. Answers cannot be had of questions not asked. This is from one of our native brothers or sisters, native nations. We don't get a name with this. Here we go. Everything speaks. The universe speaks. The spirit speaks. The ancestors, the land, that quiet voice within, they all speak. But they do not force their words upon us. They wait. They listen for the one who is ready to ask. To ask is not merely a conversation, but of entering into a sacred relationship. When we ask, we humble ourselves before the mystery that is all things. And in that, we acknowledge that we do not stand alone, that there is wisdom greater than ours. The question, when spoken from the heart, is like an offering placed upon the fire. As it rises, it carries our thoughts, our intentions, and in doing so, calling something back to us. But many of us walk in silence, not the sacred silence of humility, but the silence of hesitation, created from fear of the response. The kind of silence where if you don't ask, the answer is no. Not because the answer was no, but because it has not yet been invited in. The Spirit, that's very powerful. The Spirit knows all, but does not answer what is not asked, just as the path is not visible to the one not in search of it. That's beautiful too. There are two kinds of questions, those that live on the surface and the questions that live deep within our souls. It's those ones, deep within, that ask something more of us. They ask for truth. They ask for surrender. They ask us to listen, not just with our ears, but with our hearts, our entire being. When finally we gather the courage to ask, things begin to happen. Things begin to shift. We have finally gotten out of our own way. Our eyes are open. Our ears are able to hear. And now Spirit is able to work through us, with us. And though the answer may not come as words, it will come in the way we are meant to receive it. So ask with humility, ask with intention, and more importantly, ask knowing that the answer may not necessarily be a no, and it may not be what we want, but it will be what we need. Every answer was first carried on the breath of a question, and it is through asking that we are reminded that we are a part of something greater, always listening, always ready to guide those who ask. Take a deep breath. Oh, that is profound. Beautiful. Thank you. Native nations, indigenous peoples. That's as good as anything I've ever read. Beautiful. Thank you. Take a deep breath, I say again. Yeah, here's another one I have from our Native brothers. Can I play this? Okay, it reads like this. If I can see it, get here. Okay, there was a time when our leaders were not. This is Gene Braverock. There was a time when our leaders were not elected; they were recognized, not by ballots, but by the people, by the way they carried community, story, and responsibility for a lifetime. Today, we vote them in through a system that was never ours to begin with. And somewhere along the way, our languages started losing their seat at the table. I'm standing in a reality where not one child in elementary school on my reserve is fluent in Blackfoot. Let that sit for a moment. Not one. And yet when a proposal is brought forward, one rooted in sitting with our elders, preserving their voices, protecting the very identity we all claim to stand for, it gets turned down, not because it lacked purpose, but because it came with a price tag. Funny how we fund what fades. Funny how we'll fund what fades, but hesitate to invest in what sustains us. Other Blackfoot chiefs stood in support. Mine said no. And sometimes it only takes one no in a colonial system to silence something that should have been a resounding yes. But there's the truth they can't vote against. I'm still going to sit with our elders. I'm still going to listen. I'm still going to record, learn, carry, and share, because this was never about permission. Our language doesn't need approval to live. It needs breath. It needs us. It needs presence. So to our leaders, past and present, I honor what leadership once was, and I challenge what it has become, because legacy isn't built in meetings. It's built in moments. Sitting across from an elder, hearing a word that has survived generations, and choosing to carry it forward, with or without a vote, I'm still doing the work. Take a deep breath. Yes, beautiful. Well, we're going for it here this morning. Thank you. Judith Kusel. Yeah, here we go. The drawing and the knitting together. Are you feeling it? I certainly am. All over the world, people are coming together with a deep love and respect for Mother Earth, and grounding themselves deeply again into that oneness and unity with nature and all that is. I am lucky that I was brought up in a family who still had their roots firmly in Mother Earth. We lived in a little village. We lived in a little village, but we had our own chickens, grew our own vegetables and fruit, and whatever was spare would be shared with others. More than this, we had a couple of cows, a few sheep, and lived off the land. At the same time, my parents loved exploring. The weekends were always spent going for a long drive out into the countryside, and then having a picnic in the veldt somewhere. In this way, great word, in this way, I was already taken to places and shown the immense ancient of Africa by my father, and with a deep love and respect for the sacredness of land. As we now ascend into the new earth, the community and communities of light gather. As we now ascend into the new earth and communities of light gather, and we are already doing so, we become echo-conscious again. And more than this, we grow into the deep knowing that all of life and all living beings, visible and invisible, deserve their own place under the great central suns, and each one not only has the divine source within them, but indeed contribute in their own sacred ways towards the whole. We are, in truth, all angels with just one wing. We can only fly by helping each other. Now we are the seeders, S-E-E-D-E-R-S, seeders of new holistic life, where we become harmless to all living beings and live together as one. More than this, we take full responsibility for what we are seeding and why, and this includes our thought, word, and deed seeds. Let me try that again. Now we are the seeders of a new holistic life, where we become harmless to all living beings and live together as one. More than this, we take responsibility for what we are seeding and why, and this includes our thought, word, and deed seeds. More than this, we resume our galactic and universal citizenship, as we are now openly reunited with our soul family, space brothers and sisters again. And what an incredible homecoming this is. It is time to dream bigger and even bigger than ever before. More than this, to soulfully, lovingly, and with pure intent, create the very life we are dreaming of. One single seed, one single step at a time. What a privilege and what joy. Judith Kusel. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. Zachary Fisher. If you only listen to the news, you'll think the world is falling apart. violence, crisis, trouble, polarization, mistrust, disaster, fear, anger, division. But step outside for a moment and you'll see something different. People are still helping each other, still showing up, still choosing love in quiet ways every single day. Take a deep breath. So yesterday, thank you for all that. Yesterday was Red Dress Day and Cinco de Mayo and the 5-5 portal. But Red Dress Day for the Native Americans is a day of honoring and bringing attention to the huge amount of women and girls that go missing or show up dead in that culture. It's worse than any other group outside of Gaza, I would say. So thoughts and prayers to all the families and all those who have lost loved ones in difficult and violent ways. They need our love and support, and we shine our light upon all of it. And we ask God to use us for this purpose. Steve Nobel has a new meditation. It's called Interrupting Darkness. It's a higher light decree. Interrupting darkness with divine light. In this track, we call on the protective, fiery light of three divine beings in particular: the earth star goddess Isis, the fiery goddess Sekhmet, and the warrior of light Horus, to assist in clearing all interference from 3D systems such as political, religious, legal, social, media, and more. So that is there. We do need to clean the glass every day, my friends. And that's what I do before I get out of bed in the morning. And oh my, does it make a difference. I am so grateful. Here's one from a fellow named Rilke, as in Rainier Maria, as in Letters to a Young Poet. You are not too old, and it is not too late to dive into your increasing depths, where life calmly gives out its own secret. You are not too old, and it is not too late to dive into your increasing depths, where life calmly gives out its own secret. Take a deep breath. Zachary Fisher is doing these great AI-generated posts, and this is called Levels of Consciousness. You don't stay here, you move through here. 1 through 7. Awareness is the bridge, choice is the power. Level 1, survival consciousness. Life feels like a fight. You react, you fear, you try to control. Everything is about you. I have to protect myself. Level 2, ego consciousness. It's all about me. You compare, compete, and seek validation. Never enough. I need to be better than them. Level 3, awakening consciousness. You start to question everything. You see the patterns and look for something more. There has to be more than this. Level 4, transformation consciousness. You take responsibility. You heal, you let go, you change. It's not always easy. I choose to change my life. Level 5, expansion consciousness. You live in alignment. You embrace growth, abundance, and you add value. I am here to make an impact. Level 6, unity consciousness. Excuse me. You see the connection in all things. Compassion, love, and understanding become natural. We rise together. And magic level 7. You are the witness. Peace is your baseline. You flow, you trust. You simply are. I am. That's enough. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. Thank you, brother. What a great resource Zachary Fisher is. Muji, you believe in thoughts, therefore you become easily confused, and so peace is hidden. You believe in thoughts, therefore you become easily confused, and so peace is hidden. Well, there's a lot to unpack there. Thank you, Muji. Yeah, okay. Let me come up for air here. I saw a couple amazing videos yesterday. More about, well, we'll start with this one. There's a lady in Tennessee. Her name is Pretty or something like this. It's a strange name, but she's a bright light. And dear younger homesteader, no longer homesteading. Appalachia's homestead with Patara. Okay, yes, and I shared this with Annie, and I followed her for years. She was one of the people from the Hurricane Helena in North Carolina in the last couple of years that and Tennessee was hit quite hard, I think, as well, Western Tennessee, etc., and Eastern North Carolina. A wall of 40 feet of mud moved through one of the areas there, and the Amish came down from Pennsylvania and spent a year rebuilding a lot of that area absolutely for free. Amazing, wonderful people. So this lady is as well. She's sharing the story of learning about the toxins and the poisons in our food, and she's in the States, obviously, but it's the same the world over, and it's a real kick in the pants, and she spares nothing. But she talks from her own experience and that of her husband, who from changing his diet lost 100 pounds. He went from 300 to 200 pounds, which is extraordinary in the space of a few months. But she's just come back from a convention of keto and carnivore folks who this has come together because of the incredible amount of poison in the food. I'll say again, just to be general about it. So she is well worth your time, and you could start with either one, but they'll both fill you in about a lot of information. And so she said she had just seen a photograph of the brain, somebody's brain, being, she's saying glyphosate and the seed oils, of course, and all of these things are not good for us. And the longer you've been eating them, for younger kids who grew up on this stuff, etc., the more quickly your body is going to be under attack from these toxins, and the sooner you need to detox, wake up, and go in a new direction and look at your diet long and hard. So that was a real revelation. Annie is absolutely brilliant about her diet, and she's much better than I am at this point. And we were talking about all that, so that was great. She and I are celebrating our 6th year of being online friends on the path to find out, and it's been a joy and a wonder, and really an amazing journey. I love this lady quite a lot, and she's a dear friend and a great ally on this journey, and sending her all my love, her and her family. I've been a part of their journey with her for 6 years, and it's been an honor and a privilege, so thank you. Here's to 6 more. Yeah, God bless you. So there's that. There's all those important things. And then I listened to here Eddie Hobbs interviewing these two medicos, Professor Anglish Dalgleish and Dr. Marcus de Bruin. And English is from the UK, and Marcus is from Ireland, and Eddie is based in Ireland, so they were in the studio in Ireland. Angus came over to testify on Marcus's behalf because he's in a fight for his career to keep his license. And this is all around, of course, a certain vaccine, as Jay Widener likes to put it, that was very popular over the last few years. And we still haven't come out from under that. And it is still with us and needing some serious healing and help. So in terms of that, I'm just going to segue and say tonight at 8:30, we'll have our weekly Zoom call for the LifeWave X39 light patch, which has done me a world of good in my own recovery from my cancer experience from 3 years ago. I was put in hospital at A&E the last week of April, and I was there till the first week of June. It was 5 weeks, so maybe I'm a little ahead of it. 5 weeks. Sure, so that's the last week of May. I'm a little ahead of it. So it's this month. Okay. Anyway, it was it got my full attention, my friends. It was the fight of my life. There's no doubt about it. And again, thanks to Annie and David and DVL and all my friends who held my hand, Shan and Dora Thompson, and all my friends, Audrey, who got me through that, Tim Brown, quite a journey. But Brother Tim Carroll introduced me to the patches, and it's almost, it's a year and 3 quarters now that I've been on the patches. And I've missed a few months, but I'm back on them. And I'm still a believer, my friends. And I've signed 30 people up. And folks get impatient and doubtful. And that's understandable but unfortunate. Because if you stay with them, you'll see that they do actually absolutely help everyone. There was one story of a doctor who was on them for a year before he saw an effect from them, and now he prescribes them to all of his patients before and after surgery. So there you go. So it's Awaken Your Light, LifeWave X39 and X20. The link for it is there. The password is X39. And we'd love to have you. There's that, and there's the water machine, which is also rolling out in the next few months here in Ireland, and the film Code of Creation. So I'm enjoying the ride very much, even with its ups and downs, and the illness, the injury, the toxins, the poisoning. All of this is becoming more and more apparent to everyone. That, as the man said, we used to not vote for our leaders, but just recognize them by their character and give them our trust. Those days are done, my friends, yeah? Or need to come back, better said. Yeah, we're paying the price for a system that's too big to really be responsive to people's needs. And the people making the decisions have become more and more removed from the people whose lives are affected by them. And I'm sure Ireland is just taking a deep breath between rounds here. And a big shout out to Michael Collins and John Collins, my friends here in town, who are the exception that prove the rule. Incredible people of service and of commitment and dear friends and real inspirations to me. So thank you, Michael and John. Bless you both for all your leadership. Yeah. All right. Well, bibbidi bobbidi boop. Channeling time, I think. Yeah. Why not? Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for making a donation to my PayPal. Thank you for subscribing to me on Substack. Thank you for having a thought about a one-to-one session. Thank you for your feedback and your prayer requests. keeping Annie and Mike, her ex, and Nikki, her son, in thoughts and prayers. They're going through a thing at the moment, and I'm sure all will be well, but prayers are greatly appreciated. All right, here we go. I've got Gael Talk this morning, my Irish, day 303 on the Duolingo, and the wild and wacky Kieran O'Brien should be there. Never a dull moment with Kieran, and just so grateful for the library and having it as such a great resource, and the socializing there. Then it's off to groceries, then it's on to LifeWave, and a brilliant day. Yeah, I'm sure so. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Here we go. Yeah, I'm still thinking about the Native American wisdom, and the guy talking about there isn't one child in the school that speaks the native language. That's what moved me to start studying Irish. Between Siobhan Dupur, who's a wonderful inspiration, a beautiful poet, and hearing about the Gael Talk group at the library, getting introduced to Duolingo, but seeing the story of the natives in other countries and how their culture was broken apart by being forbidden to speak their own language or use their proper name. We are coming out of a long, long spell, my friends, and not a moment too soon. Okay, here we go. Thank you. This is my other favorite shirt. Thank you very much. Oh, go ahead, close your eyes, turn within, take a deep breath. Dear friends, bless you. Dear friends, we see the vibration here of celebration in this powerful month of May of 2026. What you give thanks for, what you appreciate, what you love, what you treasure, what you cherish, what you respect, what you bless, the food on your plate, the clothes on your back, the roof over your head, dear friends, the hot shower, the cup of tea or coffee in between things. These are the magical moments where you remember to love yourself and love your life. One and the same, love the people that are a part of your life, who need your thoughts and prayers, dear friends. To be the strength for others, dear friends. To be the light for others sometimes, dear friends, truly so. To be the inspiration for others. The channel says his purpose in life is to give and receive inspiration. That works. That'll work. That's a good idea. That's right, dear friends. To be filled with spirit means to come truly alive. And so music and poetry and spiritual wisdom, these things fill his cup, and we trust will fill your cup as well, dear friends, which draws you to the circle. So when you give yourself, when you make time and space for peace, and you come back to the truth of who you are, so your cup is full once again, and you have something to offer the world. Life is not meant to be a struggle, dear friends. You can hear it 1,000 times, but until it really lands, until you really get it, until you really let it in, you don't know your inspiration, dear friends. You don't have that grace and that peace and that passion and that love and light and those magic and those miracles, that magic and those miracles, dear friends, that are the true inheritance of the light worker and the way shower of this time. You're meant to stand out, dear friends. You're meant to be available. You're meant to be responsible and to be vulnerable and to let life guide you, lift you up, heal you, empower you, bless you, and love you, so that you have the strength, the courage, the wisdom, and the willingness to be open and trusting and honest and worthy, and to know that you are those things in truth. Take a deep breath. Dear friends, so often the dance of the world has been to desire something, to set it as a goal, to see it as outside of yourself, to take action, to work, to study, to plan, to prepare, to pay, to invest, to achieve, to acquire, to accomplish, and then to see yourself in that echo, in that reflection, in that environment, and with that status and that achievement, and see yourself differently. But as we say again here, the process of getting there is the quality of being there. If you can and will take time out of your busy days and just give thanks for what you are asking for, we will find the way, inevitably, to bring to you the opportunities to experience and express what you are desiring. It's that simple. It's that powerful. It's that easy. But the ego that has based its identity, there's the theme, on overcoming struggle to prove worth, on overcoming challenges to develop character, on overcoming lack and limitations to find grace and peace, is not interested in easy, dear friends, sadly so. So you have to roll the big rock up the large hill many times before you're willing to try something new. That is this time, dear friends. As was said here, the structures of the old that are based on the imposing of someone else's will upon your life is quickly coming to an end. And the courage and clarity and power and dignity that the new generation is leading into its expression of life in this time and place is sweeping the land, dear friends. Below the surface, behind the scenes, under the radar, as the saying goes, but nonetheless, the new is finding its voice here, dear friends. So it is not by any stretch limited to a particular generation at all. Everyone who is on this earth at this moment is here for this. These opportunities and choices, these changes, and these challenges, dear friends. So the channel and many others are looking deeper and deeper within the resources of the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind, the Gateway Program, Robert Monroe, out-of-body experience, manifestation, Neville Goddard, etc., etc. And these are things that have been there for decades, but now a deeper sense of urgency is motivating the channel and others to speed things up or simplify things or clarify things or ask for and receive the help that these techniques and tools and practices provide. Wonderful, dear friends. But at the end of the day, as the saying goes, the magic is always going to be still within you. So it is yours to resist it or yours to insist upon it. It is entirely your choice. Can you, in other words, simply put, let the source of causation in your reality be not around you, but reflected within you? And can you take joyous responsibility for the gift of life, where the veils are falling away, and the true nature of the human being, man, woman, and child, is awakening, is healing, and is growing dramatically, unprecedentedly, miraculously, in new and wondrous ways. So we say all that simply to say this: you stand at the very edge, the borderline between one world and another, a foot in each. We say, be aware of this, be willing to work with this, be open to receive about this. You are the map makers. The territory is uncharted. It is new. It is virgin. It is unlike anything the world has seen. You came for this. You came as this, dear friends. You represent, as the saying goes, beautiful, beautiful turn of phrase. You represent what the world knows not of, we say again, our theme of the moment here. New ideas, new possibilities, new ways of doing, being, and having. New technologies, new inventions, new methods of communication and healing. New freedom, dear friends. Control is ending, and freedom has begun. Soar like an eagle above the illusions of the past. Follow your heart. Find your tribe. Build your village, your shelter, your home, in self and in the world. That is in alignment with change and fluidity and flexibility and forward movement and momentum. Everyone plays a role in your life. You came here to love the earth free and all of humanity with it. Your calling is that and nothing less. This is spiritual leadership, dear friends. This is the path you walk upon, and we are your guides. We love you so. Be at peace, give thanks, and know. Peace and blessings. Namaste. Okay. Thank you. Beautiful. God bless you indeed. If I can help you, let me know. Thank you for being there for me and for us being able to create this community together. And thanks to Annie one more time for 6 great years. And thanks to all my friends who've been on this journey. Many have come and gone. Many more will come and go. But every day is a gift. And I'm blessed to be here with you today. Peace and blessings. Namaste. All my love.